How are we doing? It's Friday. I am so glad it's Friday, in fact. I could not be more happy to see the end of this week. Not looking forward to next week, but that's not a surprise, is it? Because I say that pretty much every single week at the moment. I had a really good night last night. We played. No, we didn't. We didn't. We recorded the podcast last night, and that was good. It went pretty well. We used the mics that I 3D printed, and that was so much easier than randomly having them clipped to the lapel. Normally, I have them clipped here when we're not using the studio mics. I have some DJI Mic 2 Pros, and I printed out like the things mic holders so we can talk into them. So it made it much better because we didn't get as much crosstalk, which made the ducking significantly easier, and the auto ducking worked across the board. It gets weird kind of having to hold the microphone up to your mouth to talk. But yeah, we got into that after a little while, and it kind of worked. I did as well on Wednesday, I think. So I don't think I've used this setup since Monday. So cutting back to this camera, this probably won't be in focus right now, but the color match is much better. I've not actually color matched this camera yet to this camera. I've just eyeballed the settings, but it's so much better. There's way less red in the skin tones. I think there's less red anyway. Yeah, that's just the light. I'm liking it. I like this angle so much better. So much better though. And where that camera tripod is in the background, I've got a light to go there that should be delivered this afternoon. That'll be quite nice. That means I can move it around, so I'll have. Hold on, come back over to this angle. Yeah, so that one right there behind me. Wait, right there behind me. That'll be cool, I think. I need to get some better artwork to replace the tiefling sat on a dice. I liked it when I bought it, but I don't like it now. I'm not gonna lie. It's yeah. It was only a couple of quid, so it's not too bad. Anyway, so that's where I am with that. I'm printing out a rocket at the moment for the little one. To cheer him up, he's got tonsillitis, and he wanted a rocket to decorate. So the printer is currently kicking out a rocket for him. What else? Definitely couldn't find those Ravner proxies I was talking about, so that's annoying. So I'm gonna have to buy the full box of them to do what I want. I need to go down to B&Q this weekend and get a little bit of wood for the board, or the second part of the board. I've got enough for the first one, and then I'm going to head over to York on Sunday to buy some books. So I've got like 20 quid's worth of codexes to go on the shelf behind me. Ones that I don't already have, which is really nice. Chap that listens to the podcast, like I said. So we're going to meet him, say hello, swap money for books, and yeah, hopefully spend some time with the family. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow in that respect. Hopefully I get to see my parents in the morning, but if not, then I'll ninja over in the afternoon for a little bit. But if not, it means I get to have a pajama morning with the little, and I never really get a chance to just sit on the sofa with them and do stuff. Sundays we tend to go out and do stuff as a family, so I don't get the same amount of time that his mum gets with him when they can just kind of like have a lethargic, chilled out morning. So that'll be nice. But also, if he's well enough and my dad's all right, then we'll go and see my mum and dad. Right, I've not done the cables either. I might try and get these cables done after work today. We'll see, because I'll need the little one to help me, because I'm supposed to entertain him on a Friday night. But yeah, I think he'll enjoy helping Daddy hide some cables. I mean, he is getting his rocket printed out anyway. The canvas hasn't arrived yet, so that's the 4-color system for the 3D printer. I'm looking forward to it arriving. The firmware updates appeared on the printer, so that'll be good. It's just going to be a case of figuring out how I'm going to put all of the spools in a reasonable position. The annoying thing is I've only got 2 drying boxes, so I'm going to have to spend a little bit of money and get a couple more drying boxes, and then figure out how I can. No, I don't need to figure that one out. It's like where I'm going to put 4 of them because I can only actually fit 1 there at the moment. But my concern is if I've got 4 open filament rolls and I need to dry those independently, where I can store them so they remain dry while the other filament is drying. So not too much of a problem for like a PLA where it's like 6 hours. But if I've got something that requires like 24 hours drying time, then that means the other filament's going to be absorbing moisture for 24 hours. You see what I mean? Yeah. So I need to figure that out. I'm thinking like some of those, the old plastic cereal tubs that you used to get. People have used those to make their own. It costs like 30 quid for the same ones as I've got is a little bit excessive, I think. But then you can use those for drying. I don't know. I'll figure it out. The little one's excited anyway because he wants to print stuff in multiple colours. So it's just the amount of waste that comes from that. I might have to invest in one of those PLA reconstitute things or figure out what we can do with all of the waste PLA that we'll have. Anyway, right, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to crack back on because it's lunchtime. Hopefully it looks like they're moving this abandoned van outside the house. And yeah, catch you on the other side. Have a good one. See you later.